What?
About a month and a half ago, and it's kind of nasty. If you look at it, you can kind of see it. My pinky finger.
Okay.
And so I'm feeling it right now because I severed the nerves. So there's no feeling there, but it's extremely cold. And so I'm feeling that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that sucks. Are we recording, Austin?
Yep, all
All right.
and audio's recording.
Beautiful. I wanted to ask you something before we got started here. Now I can't think of what it was. Huh. Oh, yeah, I know what I wanted to ask you. So, what's this private jet shit that I'm seeing here on Instagram?
Isn't that awesome?
That's pretty cool. You got to tell me about that.
Okay. Well, again, relationships are really important, and I've developed a great relationship with my cat sales guy. I'm a big cat fan. Everything I own is cat.
I can't tell. Oh, my gosh.
And I love quality stuff, and I think they make some of the best equipment out there. And if you get a chance to be around Caterpillar and see a facility, it shows.
Yeah,
it definitely shows. And so I got an opportunity to go down and Carter Machinery's invited me to go down to Victoria, Texas. And so I was like, yeah, let's go. And then next thing I know, they're like, well, can you meet us at Shenandoah Airport? And I was like, yeah, I could do that. And so we roll up, and I'm like, is it going to be a Citation? Is it going to be a turboprop? And no, it was this beautiful Challenger 350.
Oh my word!
And there was a couple other companies that went along as well, and we flew in there like rock stars and landed, and then Caterpillar they rolled out the red carpet and they treated us. They honored everybody that was there. They did an incredible job. That facility was, I believe they won an award.
Wow.
For their cleanliness and just the facility in general and what they were able to produce. It's incredible. They can produce, currently they're producing 52 machines. Every 52 minutes, a machine rolls off the line. And that's current production.
Wait a minute. Every 52 minutes, a machine rolls off the line.
Every 52 minutes, one of these machines, in fact, this was built there. This one right here.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this one was built there in Victoria, Texas. We actually pulled up the serial number, and it was awesome.
I was going to say that's the sexiest machine here on site right now.
Yeah, it is. It was a dream machine for me.
Yeah.
When you think about big machines that you want to own, this is one of them.
Yeah.
So yes, this actually rolled off the assembly line in Victoria, Texas, where I was, and it's amazing to watch. So it takes 9 days for that machine to be built.
From nothing to built.
Exactly. 9 days. And their current production rate is 52 minutes. So every 52 minutes, one of these or like a 340 rolls off the line.
Yeah.
They can ramp it up to every 20 minutes.
Holy cow.
Isn't that incredible?
That is incredible.
So they have a whole fabrication building with machines that weld up these frames, and then once it gets welded up, they get painted, and then they come and hit the assembly line. And every 26 minutes, the belt moves, the assembly line moves.
My gosh,
it's awesome. It's absolutely
that must have been really cool to see.
It really is. I love excellence.
Yeah.
And so when you get the opportunity to sit down and watch excellence and happening in front of you, it's just in passion. Like all those people are really passionate about what they do. When you sit down and talk to the subject matter experts for these machines and why they do what they do, and then the engineers, it's just like, wow, you guys are. I thought I was passionate.
Yeah.
These guys are passionate about their machines.
What do you use the word excellence, and I'm going to ask you here about passion too, but like, what do you think excellence is? Like, how would you define that?
Wow. Excellence is just, I think it goes hand in hand with passion.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can produce excellence without an insane amount of passion, and grit and fortitude, because it all comes, because you don't build a machine like this, or do work in the trades effectively, with great quality without that desire and passion. So I think they go hand in hand. I would almost call it excellence is is almost perfect, right?
Okay.
That's how I would describe it. And so I think as humans, we strive for perfection, although it's unobtainable.
Yes.
There's always room to be, like, believe it or not, I was actually, I was talking to one of the subject matter experts at CAT down there, and they're like, how do you like our machines? Oh, man, I love your machines. I'm a big CAT fan. Well, could you give us any feedback about this machine? Yeah, there's a couple things I could share with you, because we run them every day, that can make them a little better. And they're like, oh wow, yeah, thank you for that feedback. And I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
That's another thing about excellence, is that you've never arrived.
Yeah.
And so just the idea that these guys they're wanting feedback, and they're wanting to improve, and they want to make things better. That's excellence.
Well, I think that's a huge thing that we don't realize. How feedback is a gift, and it's a real. You see companies that, like a company like Caterpillar. When you think of machines, I don't care who you are, you think of Caterpillar.
Right.
There are other companies out there, but I would say that when I was growing up, a Caterpillar hat was what I wanted. A Caterpillar, and it's like the machine. But part of the reason for that is what you just said.
Right.
Their ability and willingness to, while the world views them as the best, they view themselves as needing to be better.
That's right.
And you even touch on something that I find very interesting based on, we were talking here on the job site before we got started. And one of the things that we were talking about was estimating and bidding jobs, and the experience that is needed of actually having done the work.
Right.
And so that's why they're asking you those questions as you're running the machine on the job site. It's the same as you sending an estimator out to actually lay eyes on the dirt before you put the bid together.
That's right.
Or before you send the bid out the door, at least. And it's like, I think that's something that, one thing that I love about the skilled trades is the reality of is that is never going to go away.
Right.
I do think that AI can improve some of the things that we do. But the reality is, the putting your boots in the dirt like we are right now, getting your hands dirty, doing the work, that's never going to go away.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what it is. If you're using AI or you're not, you still have to do the work. It doesn't. Anybody who uses AI and doesn't do the work, everyone can tell.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, we're sitting about 14 feet above a live 8-inch sewer main.
Come on.
It's right underneath of us.
Nice.
And AI will never do that.
Yeah, that's right.
So it takes skilled tradesmen and women with passion,
Yeah.
and a desire for excellence, that take pride in their work to do that.
So what do you think, and you have an interesting story, and we're going to get into it, but since you keep talking about passion and excellence, how do you, and you have a pretty young workforce, don't you?
My oldest employee outside of my business partner is
Just so you know, this goes out on the internet. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
My oldest employee, other than my partner, is 28 years old.
Wow.
And so, this company is very unique in that I felt called back to this industry.
Yeah.
I was in ministry for 9 years, and felt called to a new chapter, and felt called back into this industry. And we say we build people that build infrastructure.
Come on.
And so there's this industry, for every, you've heard the stats, for every baby boomer,
Yes.
for every 10 that goes out, one comes in. I don't know what it is now, but it's very true. And there's a lot of old heads, and we need those old heads.
Yeah, we do.
But we also need those old heads to see that, hey, what's given them a great life
Yeah.
is going to die
Yeah.
at the vine, right? If we don't pour back into the next generation.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have a young force, and which is why I'm in the field every single day with those young guys, equipping and training and doing my best to pour into them. So
You were talking about that earlier, and you're starting to experience the struggle with not being able to get in the dirt as much
yes,
as you used to. Having been one that has experienced that, that is probably one of the hardest things about growing a business.
absolutely.
And learning the ways to then counter that, because you can't. you can't do what you did before.
Right.
You can't keep doing that. And often I think to myself, oh, I would much rather be out in the field right now. But learning how to maintain that connection in a different way, technology helps with that. And there are other things that we can do, but I would say that's probably, it's not a regret, but it's one of the biggest things that I miss.
Yeah.
I had a young man say to me once, he was on a shutdown. Our trade was electrical, and shutdown is a job where you work almost sometimes anywhere from 24 hours to maybe even 30 some hours in one shot. And I came onto the job. I wasn't there with them through the night on this particular job, but I came in the morning, and this young man was talking to me about it. And he goes, "This was awesome."
Yeah.
He goes, "I just feel so connected to everybody here on the job. Like we had a mission and a goal to accomplish, and we did it together."
Yeah.
And it's like, that is probably one of the biggest things that I miss, is being a part of that at that level on a more regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this machine right here, this 352.
Yeah.
It came on this site with like half an hour on it. And it was painful for me because I've always wanted to own a 349 or a 352.
Yeah.
And for it to finally get there, right, and be able to purchase that, and it roll on the site, and then never get to run it.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably put 4 hours on that machine. And so it is painful, but I'm going to try to hold on as long as I can.
Yeah.
We've doubled this company every year for the last 4 years.
Come on. Wow.
And we're going into a whole nother season. And super thankful for what God's done. But I was talking to my foreman, who will likely be the superintendent of these jobs. He's like, "Well, what are you going to do?" I'm like, "Well, I'm going to be a foreman on this job over here, and I'm going to work for you." The way I structured this, I have a business partner. He's the president of the company, and a phenomenal man, very smart. But that was strategic. One, I needed someone to do life with, in business, that could keep me and tell me how it is, keep me aligned. Someone I could pick up the phone and vent.
Yeah.
And when I want to sell all these assets and just go back and deduce, there's days I just rather work for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
you have your buy days and your sell days.
That's right. That's right. And so, but I did that kind of strategically because I love being in the field.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to, as long as I can, at whatever capacity I can, I could be a substitute for somebody that calls in sick. Yeah. Whatever it is. I just love being around the guys. Yeah. And I love doing life with it. And to your point, those long days, those 14-hour days, 15-hour days, we do that every once in a while. I'll look at the guys and go, "Hey, you want to keep doing this?" Yeah. Because you can go home and come back and do it tomorrow, or you can just spend another 4 hours and get it knocked out, and we can move on to something else.
Exactly.
And what that does, I find, like you said, the young men, they look at you and they're going, "Oh, that was awesome." And if you ask some of my guys, what are some of the best moments they've had here at 540, they would tell you it would be a 14-hour day. Yeah. Because you learn so much about yourself, and you learn so much about those around you. And more importantly, you learn the value of hard work. Yeah. Which is really what we're trying to do out here. We're trying to teach this next generation that, I like to use the word. I like to use the word testicular fortitude. Hey, there's.
You got to take a breath and say that again. I want to make sure that comes across clear if you're listening.
Yeah.
What is the word that you use?
Testicular fortitude.
Testicular fortitude.
Basically, I'm just trying to say, it's like, hey guys, you're men.
Yeah, that's right.
And you were designed to work. The very first thing that God did when He created man, before a woman came along, was give him a job. Yeah, it's important. You were made to work, and so I think this culture today has kind of been microwaved a little bit. You can pick up a phone and dial up. I can get you food here. You hungry? we can dial up food right here in the middle of this job site and be delivered. And so we can microwave things, and I think that's kind of part of the problem, right? Yeah, everybody wants the easy route, and you don't realize that that everything around you. You can look at creation here. Yeah, everything around you struggled. Yeah, and for life, right? And so, in the same way, we're no different. Yeah, Everybody has trauma. Everybody's gone through struggle. You don't get muscles unless you break down the fibers and build muscle.
Come on.
And so you have to understand the value of that, and so that's what we really try to teach. So we look for those 14-hour days and we celebrate them.
Yeah,
so
as well we should. I mean, that is. I was going to ask you. Well, how do you show them what? How do you quantify the value of work? But you pretty much defined it right there.
Yeah.
And that phrase that you use there, testicular fortitude, that's actually why we're sitting here.
Okay.
Because there was an Instagram post, and it showed up in my stories. I think, a gentleman that I know had reposted it, actually, and so it showed up in my story. And I was going through and doing some stuff, and I heard you say that in the recording, and I was like, wait a minute. And so I literally went and did a deep dive, looked up your company, and this is an important explanation of why posting is good. I researched his company. Other people do that. And I researched your company and saw who you were, and I was like, okay, I like what this guy has to say.
Okay.
I think that would be a good conversation to highlight. And because I do see what you're doing here. I see that. I love that you have a young workforce. You talk about the old hats, and I recently read, I say recently, probably about 6 or 7 months ago, I read a book called From Strength to Strength. And it talks about, in your 20s and whatnot, how if you were a musician, that's when you're going to make your most amazing works.
Yeah.
And then it talks about in your 40s and later, it's like, wait, you can't do what you did in your 20s.
That's right.
But what it is, it's going from strength to strength in the sense of what you can do is become a library and a teacher and a mentor.
That's right.
And actually, I believe that we are made to work that way. And when we don't, we've both worked with old hats. If you've worked in this industry, we've both worked with them, and there were old hats that are like to the office, hey, I need experienced helpers. And we've all said that.
Yeah.
But then there were those who, when they got the guy that didn't know anything, they took the time to teach him.
Yeah.
Or girl. And they took the time to teach them. And that's what we need to be doing.
Agreed. There's knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So I can pick up a book and I can gain knowledge, right? I can sit and have a conversation with you and I can get knowledge, glean from your wisdom. And then there's experience.
Yeah, come on.
And when you compile those things together, usually the old hats do that because they have knowledge, they have wisdom, they have experiences, which translates to wisdom.
Yeah.
Right. And so when, we really need these Gen Xers and these baby boomers to step up and share their wisdom of the industry, of the trades, and give back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I owe everything I have to this industry, to the trades.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I think that the trades is one of these things. It's not going away. The crazy thing is now, more than ever, because we have neglected it so much, it is now in that catastrophic period where it's like, oh, we have to pay attention to this.
Yeah.
And the reality is, and I'm glad for that, but we're late to the game. We should have been doing it, 40 years ago. And we have, a lot of people think, well, because I'm for the trades, I'm against college. And I'm not against any of that.
Yeah.
I am like, why does it have to be either or? You and I were having a conversation earlier about, do you want to be smart or do you want to be intelligent?
Right.
Or intellectual? Like, and you said
both.
Yeah. And it's like, and the reality is, I think that we should be going after education. And one thing that I will say about that is it doesn't mean it's a 4-year degree. Education means that you are always learning.
That's right.
And it's like, it can be a 4-year degree, but the reality is I'm not looking for a guy that has a diploma. I'm looking for a man or a woman who is willing to figure it out and go get it.
Yeah.
And not be like the people who are willing to problem solve and willing to figure things out and be like, you know what? Before I go and ask, I'm going to try to think about,
Yeah.
maybe there's a different way. That's who I want. And if we can go after, that's what education, that's what learning is.
Yeah.
It's going after that.
That's right.
So
That's right. No, I tell my guys all the time, I said, I'm going to bring you the opportunity,
yeah.
but you need to bring the determination.
Come on.
And that's all I ask. I just want you to show up with a drive, and want to get 1% better.
Yeah.
Get a 0.5%. As long as you're moving forward, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But just learn.
Yeah.
As much as you can, and absorb as much as you can, and have a drive. I mean, I have a young kid that works for me now that's just, he's on go, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, actually, all of them do. They wouldn't be. We kind of have one of those cultures that, I like to tell the story. I rolled up to the shop one day, I was a couple minutes late, and the guys are all standing around in a circle, and I'm like, what's going on, guys? They're having a serious conversation, and they're like, well, so-and-so isn't putting out. He's not showing up. And as a result, we're all having to work a little harder. And we don't know if we want him on the team anymore.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, if that's your decision, let's go.
Yeah.
And they let him go right there.
Wow.
Which was amazing, right? And so we do have one of those cultures, and I think it's a really healthy culture. That listen, we're gonna have fun. We love having fun, but we're gonna work hard too.
Yeah.
And we're going to produce a great product and live life together, right?
Yeah. So
we're very much a family, and so I love it.
It's you say that, and I love hearing that is a high functioning team right there.
Absolutely.
And high functioning teams. I love the power of team. I love my favorite thing is being a part of building teams and then seeing teams move on without me.
Yeah.
And when you talk about that right there, it's no different than like, the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
It's like if you want in the trades and you're not interested in hard work, then the trades aren't for you.
Yeah.
It's just that simple, because there's no way, like we're sitting here on this site and we're in phase like 3, 4, or 5, or all of them.
3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5.
We're sitting on phase 5.
We're not even doing them. We're doing them all at once. But all that to say, we're sitting here on this dirt. We're 14 feet above a sewer main. It takes work to get that done.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't want hard work, then the trades are they are not for you. And the reality is, you said something earlier about, being good in life. I think if I'm going to be truthful, and one of my big things I say, I want to be as honest.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be honest, in life, you should want hard work.
Yeah.
In life, you should want that.
I think deep down inside, everybody desires to work hard. I think you're innately wired that way. Even the men and women that are in the office and they're just answering emails, right? And whatever.
That's hard work.
Yeah, it is. But they often say, "Man, I'd love to get out there and do that," right?
Yeah.
And there's just something about putting your hands to dirt.
Yeah.
Putting your hands calluses, coming home, being able to look at the end of the day what you did.
Yeah.
That every man just loves. It's a great feeling.
It absolutely is. I think the word that I would stick on it would be diligence, because I think that's the thing that no matter what you're doing, if you're diligent at it,
consistency.
If you're consistent at it, if you
Yeah.
keep going at it, and it's like, because different people, work at different levels, and it's like what might be hard for me maybe isn't hard for you.
Right.
That doesn't make it any less hard for me. And that's an important thing to recognize. It's like, I remember I broke my leg once and I still went to work. That's not something that I necessarily expect of the people that work for me, but for me, I needed to do that.
Right.
Like, I knew that I had to go to work.
Right.
Now, I don't know how effective I was. And I didn't work a full day. But my point being, I think it's diligence. Continuing to push when you don't want to push. Continuing to go after that. And I do think that we're wired that way. I do think that we're made that way. I mean, anyone, I think all of us at some point in our life have experienced that, what do you want to call it? Like a lazy weekend. And then there are those of us who've experienced that work weekend,
Yeah.
they feel different. At the end of a lazy weekend, and I've been there, you don't feel the same that you do at the end of a work weekend where you've been sweating and working. And one, you've accomplished something usually.
Yeah.
And two, you feel like, I want to be careful how I say this, but you feel like you've earned the rest. It makes it taste sweeter.
Yeah.
It
does.
It really does.
It really does. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday, and we were talking about working out.
Yeah.
And I'm coming out of a season where I've just been grinding and grinding and grinding. And so, you have seasons in life, and I put on some pounds, and I'd like to get back to my fighting shape.
Yeah.
And so I went to the gym yesterday, and it was early morning CrossFit.
He knew he was going to be on camera today, so I wanted to
it doesn't drop that fast. I have to break it to you. I didn't gain it that fast. It doesn't come off that fast. But he was asking. He's like, "Man, you haven't been here in a while, and like you're still." And it's just something like, "Hey, look, I did 4 years of CrossFit."
Holy crap.
And so every single day, more or less. And so there's muscle memory there, and there's muscles that were built.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it wasn't hard when I was first starting.
Yeah.
But and I still need to build that nervous system. But what you have to understand is that you're building muscles everywhere in life. And so that discipline, that consistency is a muscle.
Yeah, for sure.
That you have to flex and you have to work out. So do hard work. When things are tough, just keep pressing in, and man, you're gonna find that you're gonna find yourself starting to stack wins.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I love that statement. Stack wins. That's what you want to do.
Well, a little becomes a lot, right? And so I think a lot of times we look at we look at the end state of others, but we never really realize what it took for them to get there.
Oh, you're so right.
And what it takes to get there is a whole bunch of small wins.
Yeah.
And so if you can just focus on, if you're stacking 1 penny a day,
yeah,
over time, you can stack $1 million.
Yeah.
Right. It's a little becomes a lot.
Yeah. Well, and I believe a lot in the power of what I call multiplication.
Yeah.
Which it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like multiplication is one of those things as you begin to stack wins. Well, then they multiply.
Yeah.
Like, 2 becomes 4, but 4 can become 16, and it's like, and it continues to do that. And so going after that, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
So you're wearing, I love your brand, by the way. We were talking about this earlier, and I'm a big brands guy. And if you don't know this about me, I think a brand should be simple, but yet speak loudly at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're wearing this hat. Your company name is 540 Build.
Yeah.
You got to tell us about that name.
Okay. Well, it's the area code in a region that we work in. So this 81 corridor is basically 540.
Okay.
And so 540 Build. It just kind of rolled off the tongue one day, and it's stuck.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I didn't want to be one of those. I didn't want to be Keaton Turner. Yeah. and name my company after myself, like so many people do. Right? There's no ego here. The end state of 540 is I want it to be an ESOP. I want it to be employee owned, and so that will be the legacy. I want this company to be around for 100 years, with or without me, with the same culture and the same desire to create a better place for employees to thrive and their families to thrive, right?
Yeah.
And so,
I think your tagline should be that you want this company to be around for 540 years.
There you go. That works. That works.
I mean, so what is? I love your name. I love the simplicity behind it. I love the creativity of not naming it after the town, but naming it after the town or naming it after the area. Like, I mean, you didn't name it the 81 corridor. You didn't name it. Where I come from, there's a lot of people that, and I don't want to call them out, so I won't say it, but they have the name of the town and then their company. Like this is, we're in Hagerstown, Maryland right now. This is Hagerstown Electric, or this is Hagerstown Heavy Civil. And it's like, sometimes I think that we get so caught up in the work, especially in the trades, that we don't recognize the importance of taking the time to be creative.
Yeah.
And it's the same as the work that you do. It's your craftsmanship. And you said when we were walking in that, well, really you're a creative. I mean, this setup here and these machines, he had them all set up when we got here. And I think that's something that I don't like the term creative because it implies that certain people aren't.
I think everybody's creative.
I agree. And we're creative in different ways. I mean, I talked about the power of team. Someone said to me the other day, we did some sort of brand job for someone, and they said to me, wow, everything you guys do, we really love the way that, the branding is. And I was like, yeah. I said, well, most of that is not my idea or not my, but when you bring together a collaboration of different people together, you can come up with and hone things in. And just like Caterpillar, it's like, even from a creative perspective, it's like you spit something out, you have an idea, and then this person goes, well, let's tweak it like this, and that changes things and helps things be effective. I brought the chairs today, so that was my creative part.
I appreciate that. I wish they had seat warmers because I'm freezing right now. It's 35 degrees, and it feels like 32.
We're in the shade.
We're in the shade. It feels like 32, probably a little colder, and for all your listeners, this is the East Coast. And so the cold on the East Coast is a little different than the cold in the West. It's just a little different. No, I love that. I one of my favorite pictures, and forgive me if I get a little preachy here.
Sorry.
But one of my favorite pictures of a teamwork, of a team at work, and using their different gifts and talents is, Jesus was at Peter's house, or Paul, theologians are going to argue about whose house he was at. And there's these guys went down in history as some men.
Come on.
And they had a friend that they believed with faith.
Oh, come on.
That if they could get this guy in front of Jesus, Jesus would heal him.
Come on.
It'd be a miracle.
Yeah.
And so some men, there's a group of men, and they got together, and they're like, one guy was like, hey, look, they had the idea.
Yeah.
Couldn't get through the doors, couldn't get through the windows. But man, if we can cut a hole in the roof, we can lower them to Jesus. There's the vision, right? Yeah. And then they had hope.
Come on.
Right? And then they had the love for their friend, which, by the way, is the ingredient of success.
Come on.
And so one guy was like, hey, I know somebody who's got rope. I know. And the other guy's like, hey, look, I can lead this cadence. Yeah. And we can lower these four corners of this guy. And they get this guy down in front of Jesus, and Jesus looks up at these guys, and he says, it's written in history, 4 different accounts, right, in the gospel. And it's written in history, and he goes, hey, because of their faith, take up your mat and walk.
Come on.
And this guy, the miracle happened right in front of their face because of other people's faith.
Yeah. Because
of that team's faith, and because of that vision, and because of the collaborative effort to get their friend. And that's, when we talk about hope.
Come on.
When we talk about faith, faith is just courage.
Yeah.
When you put faith into action, it's, all it is, it breaks down to courage. It's like we can talk about faith, and you can read about it, you can say it in church, you can say it to one another, but faith without action isn't faith.
Yeah.
And so it takes courage, it takes action, and then hope is what could be.
Yeah.
Right. And so, not looking backwards, but man, my hope is that I see what you're doing, and my hope for you is what's to come. I can see what you're doing. It's the vision forward.
Come on.
And then love is the greatest of them all.
Yeah.
Paul's that's Paul, by the way. That's Paul's leadership, not Justin's leadership.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians 13. Faith, hope, and love, and the greatest is love. And love is just that. It's the motive behind why we do what we do. And so, those are my 3 ingredients to success. If you can have courage.
Yeah.
Testicular fortitude. if you can have courage and step out in your calling.
Yeah.
And then if you can see things, have a vision of what's to come.
Yeah.
I think the worst thing you can do to a human is take hope away from them.
Come on.
So just breathe hope, and see hope, and stay current. We were talking about relationships earlier, how important relationships are, and the relationships I have in my life are to keep my hope steadfast and in line.
Yeah.
In the direction. Everybody that's in my life are my biggest fans.
Yeah.
And they breathe life into me. They breathe hope into me. on those sell days when I want to just get, I just want to give up. And so, and then the love is the motive.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the Bible, throughout history, you know, motive, you can do the right thing and still do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And when your heart's not right. And so, I think to be successful, you have to have the right heart and the right why. Yeah.
Come on. I don't mind you being preachy because that was good. I mean, that's a funny thing about the truth is it's always good.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. I appreciate your honesty. You know, we travel all over the place, and the thing that is most impressive to me about these conversations is the value that comes out of them when people are honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody is listening, that's why you're listening, because you want to hear an honest conversation. And we all can tell when a conversation is honest and when it is fake.
Yeah.
Justin, what's a tool or a piece of gear that you can't live without?
Well, I wouldn't call my wife a tool. But she's definitely my secret weapon. And so I would say, you know, the ability to be able to pick up the phone and call my wife.
Yeah. So I'm going to, I always like to go a little bit deeper. It makes some people uncomfortable. We'll see what happens. But when you say you're married 25 years, congratulations.
25 years, yep.
That's impressive. When you talk about that ability to pick up your phone and call your wife, what is it that she does for you in those moments when you're doing that?
I don't even know.
Okay. That's honest.
I don't even know. I mean, it's just 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, it's her ability to speak truth.
25 years is a long time. I mean, it's a quarter of a century. And you think about that, she really must know who you are, good, bad, and the ugly.
100%.
And I would articulate it for me. I have relationships like that. Those are the best relationships, because if people know who I am, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and let me be really clear, there's a little bit of good in me, there's a lot of bit of bad, and there's a whole lot of ugly.
Sure.
And if they are still there after that amount of time, willing to have those conversations to me, that means that they think the good is enough to be able to continue having those conversations.
Well, I think that's what's beautiful about humanity is that the good is always enough.
Yeah,
and there's good in everybody, and
that's true.
And you know, I think I said this earlier today was, you know, I think that I know that there's an innate desire in every single human, and everybody wants to love somebody, and everybody wants to be loved.
Come on.
And so, you know, I know it's weird for a guy who's 6'5", 250 to you know, to talk about love, but I think it's a really important thing. And it's why we do what we do. I get out of bed in the morning because of my love.
Yeah, come on.
That's the drive. That's the fuel for the motor. It's my family and my wife and my guys. That's it.
Yeah. So, 540. You guys do heavy civil. You brought on a partner. You okay? You gonna make it,
dude? I'm just trying to keep myself moving. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. If you need to get up and, like, you know, run a couple of laps or something like that, I can get you a blanket or something out of the truck if you want.
I appreciate it.
I'm a jerk.
No, you're not. Not at all. I'll take it. I feel like I'm sitting here with one of my guys right now.
So 540 build. You are really truly investing in the young men who are a part of your organization. You talked about the oldest guy in your company is 28, other than you and your partner. Talk about what it is like. I've seen some of the stuff on Instagram and the thing that you're posting, and you're now making a concerted effort and focus to actually, and I know a little bit about this. You're making a concerted effort to focus on putting your voice out there publicly.
Yeah.
And talk to me about why you're doing that, because I think there's some other people in the Generation X and the Boomer world that need to hear that. Talk about that.
So, I mean, this is uncomfortable. Okay, so anyone that knows me knows that I don't like cameras. I don't like putting myself out there.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you. I believe that being vulnerable and honest is extremely valuable, and people want that. They're attracted to that. And so it really just comes down to, again, what I said earlier. It's a tool.
Yeah.
Social media is a tool, and we're trying to attract young men and women into our industry, and we want to make this industry look sexy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we want to do it in a way that, I have a lot of hope for this next generation.
Me too.
And they get a bad rap.
Agreed.
If you go, you can go on any construction site across America and talk to some old heads, and they're like, "Oh, these guys don't want to work." It's like, no, these guys want to work.
Yeah.
They have a desire to get out here and do this stuff. They just don't know how.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
And again, going back to this whole thought process, let's just teach the value of hard work and why it's important. Let's teach what success really is. I think we often just run around and chase success.
Yeah.
And we see, they pull up Instagram and they see, a guy wearing a Rolex or, driving a Lambo, and they're like, "Oh, that's success." Well, I got news for you.
Yeah.
It's not success.
That's right.
It's going to leave you empty.
Yeah.
And wanting more. And it's just you're just chasing your tail.
Yeah.
And you'll never be happy. But if you can provide for a family,
yeah,
you can build a family, provide for it, and you can get in the trench with another guy, right, and do life together. It's a different thing.
It is.
It feels you a little different.
It is. It does.
So I jump on social media. It's uncomfortable. I got a guy that does it all now, and he posts things that I would never post. And so it's a little difficult for me from time to time, but I see value in it.
Yeah.
And I've experienced value in it. And again, we don't have the young workforce, by coincidence.
Yeah.
A lot of it is because we're out here trying to really make it attractive.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a good job. I mean, you said you want to make it look sexy. All this yellow iron right here, that does a pretty good job of making it look sexy. So I love what you're doing. I think that more people, I was just thinking about this the other day, because there is there is an entire group that is like, has realized that the trades have value, and that there is value in being an advocate for the trades.
Yeah.
And what the old hats and the Generation X have that influencers do not is that experience that goes with it, that gives your voice a value.
That's right.
And so all of that to say that's why I believe if you're not on Instagram, if you're not on LinkedIn, if you're not on these social media platforms, who knows how long you can still be on TikTok or not. But the reality is that's where we need to put our voice, because that's where this next generation is right now.
Yeah.
And we need to be focusing on that and doing that. And your guy is posting things, and I know that I don't like being on camera either. Nobody believes that anymore. But the reality is I don't. It was very safe to be very private.
Yeah.
I had like zero social footprint or internet footprint until a few years ago in my life, and I enjoyed it. Like, you could Google me and you wouldn't find me.
Right.
And I loved that. I actually wore it as a badge of honor.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore when you Google me.
Yeah.
And the reality is, because there are people that can say, now when you're out there and you're putting your voice out there, people are going to say good, bad, and ugly.
That's right.
They're going to do that. But I believe that the value of what is being said by those who have been there and done that is so needed by the next generation, that if people say and they bring up my ugly and they bring up my bad, that it's worth it for the good that we bring to the table.
Yeah.
And the reality is, truthfully, all the way back to Caterpillar, them bringing up my ugly or my bad is not bad for me.
Right.
Because I have to deal with that every time I see it. Someone posts something or says something. Recently, I had someone make a comment, and this is really interesting to me. And it wasn't even about me, but it was about someone who I sat down with in their company. And they made this comment, and they didn't realize that they revealed their heart in the midst of their comment. Anytime that you make a comment and I have to click more and more and more to read the whole comment, there's probably more going on there. And my point being, the people who know can read through that crap. So don't be afraid to post. Don't be afraid to say things. Just be out there and be truthful and be real.
Yeah, I think, I've had a lot of my guys tell me, hey, we need more of you.
Yeah.
People want to hear you. I'm like, no one wants to hear me.
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to what I have to say. And they're like, no, they do. And the way I get through that is, again, it comes back to the motive.
Yeah.
And so I sleep well at night.
Yeah, come on.
And so say what you want to say.
Yeah.
We all have, things that we aren't proud of. Skeletons in the closet, whatever you want to say, right? We all have things that we all have a past. But that's the beauty of grace.
Yeah, come on.
That's the beauty of
something our world is missing a little bit of, for sure.
And we're all humans.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes, and there's, I'm going to continue to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But at the end of the day, the why behind it, the heart behind it, it's like what I'm doing, the motive. Like, yeah, I made a mistake, but no, everybody sees the end state. They see what I did, but they didn't see the decisions I had.
Yeah.
And they don't see the heart behind it.
Yeah.
And so, I just hold on to that. It's like, hey, I sleep well at night, and at the end of the day, God knows my heart, and the people that are around me, the closest, know what I'm trying to do, and know my motives and who I am as a person, and everything else is noise.
Justin, that's it's really interesting that you say it that way. It's one of the greatest pieces of advice I ever got as a young man. Probably most likely being one of the ages that you employ. I grew up in a Christian home.
Yeah.
And so wanting to be about what the Lord was wanting me to be about was something I was always afraid when I was really young of making the wrong choices. Especially when I was graduating high school and deciding to go into life. And I can remember saying to an old hat that was a mentor of mine, well, what if I make the wrong choice?
Yeah.
And I was so scared of that. And he looked at me and he goes, God knows your heart.
Yeah.
And he looks at your heart and he goes, the reality is you might make the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Do you not think that God is big enough or not big enough to be able to take care of that? He's looking at your heart.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to look at. When we do things and we make decisions, we need to look at our heart. And our motives aren't always right. But the reality is when we recognize that our motives aren't right, well, then we can change that and we can do it again.
Yeah.
Just like Caterpillar, hey, what's wrong with this machine? What can we do differently? How can we make it better?
That's right.
Like, I'm not going to achieve Justin's definition of excellence in this life, but I'm sure as hell going to try every single day.
Amen.
That's what I'm going to do. For me, excellence is trying better today than I was yesterday. And so I really believe that. All right, we're almost there.
Okay.
We're almost there. One of the things that I like to ask people when we sit down and we have these podcasts, because I want to get real, and I wait till we're close to the end because I feel like it's a better place for us to have this conversation. But I think one of the things that brings value is being honest about our mistakes. Mm-hmm. Having a real and honest conversation about what we did wrong. Everybody wants to talk about what they did right. Everybody wants to talk about their successes. That's what it is. And so I ask this question of everybody that comes on the podcast. And what I will say is not everybody answers it well. And you probably don't know who you are, because usually if you can't answer this well, you don't see it. But I want to ask you this. What is a mistake that you've made in life that you're willing to share here with us and our listeners, that you've learned from, that they might be able to learn from, that you're willing to be honest about with us? Well,
I'm typically a pretty wide open book, but what jumps out at me, I have an 18-year-old today.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you. And this is my second adult that's graduated. So I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. I have 4 girls.
Wow.
And, I think I think I spent so much of their early years
Come on.
chasing success.
Yeah.
And what I know now, the wisdom that I have now,
Yeah.
is that your number one ministry and your number one success, your ruler of success, is your family.
Yeah.
So people aren't going to remember the equipment that I owned,
Yeah.
right? Or the money or the assets that I was able to compile.
Yeah.
What they'll remember is the man that I was, the father I was, the husband I was. So I don't have regrets because I've learned from them.
Yeah.
But if I could go back, I think I would just be a better father.
Yeah. What is it when you say you could be a better father? What is it? Define that for me a little bit. Give me some definition.
Well, I think today, it hit me really hard when I took my oldest to Baylor, dropped her off.
Wow.
Over 2,000 miles away.
Yeah.
She's studying medicine, and it's like I'm looking at my daughter and like, she's 18 years old, and I see her at 4.
Yeah.
It's like I'm flashing back in time.
Yeah.
Man,
It's all right, man.
yeah, getting emotional just thinking about it, but you just realize that it happens quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I wept all the way home
Yeah.
from that trip. Super proud of her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it was a season of life that was coming to an end
Yeah.
that you'll never get back.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons why I tell entrepreneurs, like, hey, don't start a business.
Yeah.
If I could drop some advice,
Yeah.
if you feel called to start a business,
Come on.
and you want a family at the same time,
Yeah.
go work for somebody else.
Yeah.
Build your family and then start a business.
Yeah.
Because your number one job in life is to be a great father,
Yeah.
great husband.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't matter. Yes, you need to provide. You need
Yeah.
to put food on the table. But you can do that a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, sorry about
no.
being emotional.
No, I mean that means it's real, and that's what we want. And I think what you're touching on is so important, because the reality is we are always pointing and looking to success, and we are missing what success truly really is.
Right.
And true success is recognizing the fact that there are seasons in life, and the way that we invest in those seasons is how we finish those seasons. I have some friends who I have, ever since I've been young, my friends, some of my best friends have been 30 or 40 years older than me.
Yeah.
And it's been one of the greatest experiences of my life. But so I relate with people that are in a different cycle of life than I am. They're in the end of life cycle, because some of them are in their 80s now. And the reality is, I can look at different people in that age range, and some are finishing alone,
Yeah.
and some are surrounded with those people that they've invested with. And it doesn't matter how many millions of dollars, how many billions of dollars you have. There is nothing that can replace having that person next to you that loves and cares about you and literally wants to be there when you can't wipe your own ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that's the truth of it.
Yep.
And so that's what real success is. Real success, I believe, and you touched on this, is relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships with the people that are a part of 540, relationships with your clients, relationships with your wife, and relationships with your children.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, and that's what you should strive for. If you're looking for real, true success and fulfillment, listen, I don't want, and I don't want anybody to put this in front of me, because I don't want to have to make this choice if it would be so straightforward. But I don't want $1 billion versus real relationship.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that stack of money has zero meaning without what comes from real relationship and being able to commune with people and be a part of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I love that. I think anyone that has any kind of compiled any kind of money in life would say the same thing.
Yeah,
they just want relationships
for sure.
So,
well, Justin, we're freezing our butt off out here. I apologize for the cold, but you picked the location, so that's really on you.
And I pushed you off for a couple months too. So
yeah, that's right.
We could have done this in the heat.
Well, I really appreciate that you were able to have the testicular fortitude to sit here in the cold.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time to have a real and honest conversation with us. If for those that are listening, where can they find you?
They can find us on Instagram. I hear there's a Twitter account, or not a Twitter account, a TikTok account that I don't have access to. So
do they just search 540
or Justin Holmberg? There's LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, all that will get you to. So thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure to sit down with you and have a conversation.
Yeah. Justin, thank you for stepping up to the line.
Yes, sir.